Welcome everyone. In this session, we are going to discuss about the topic classification and the nomenclature of microorganisms under the subject microbiology. So, what is meant by microbiology? So, microbiology is the study of microorganisms. So, which are the organisms that are invisible to the human eyes or naked eyes. So, this microbiology has a various impact on the human health. So there are various scopes for the microbiology. So it includes environmental microbiology, industrial microbiology, agricultural microbiologies, and health microbiology. And even in the pharmaceutical departments, the microbiology plays a major role. And especially it is very much important to balance the nature. So which includes the food sources and it plays a major role in the decomposition while considering the environmental microbiology, so it deals with how to provide a safe drinking water, development of biodegradable products, and how to use a microorganism that is a bacteria to clean up the oil spills. So this method is called as a bioremediation. And this bioremediation is especially nowadays used in the oceans to clean up the oil spillage in the water. Then, while focusing on the industrial microbiology, so it includes the foodstuffs, various antibiotics, insulin, and the genetic engineering. So, in the agricultural research has led to healthier livestock and disease-free crops. And our topic is the classification and nomenclature of microorganisms. The classification of microorganism is nothing but how to group the microorganisms which is especially based on the phylogeny, that is, evolutionary history and the relationship among various species and the phenotypes. So, phenotypes will include various characteristics of the microorganisms such as morphology, physiology, behavior, and coloration. Whereas the nomenclature is nothing but how we are providing the names to the various microorganisms, and this has to be regulated by the International Code of Nomenclature. For example, bacteria, microorganisms, so they will be following the International Code of Nomenclature of Bacteria, so the which is nothing but bacteriological codes. So these are various major groups of microorganisms, so which includes bacteria, archaea, fungi, protozoa, algae, viruses, and these are classified especially based on it is a prokaryotic or eukaryotic or it is a unicellular or acellular. So bacteria is a prokaryotic and it is a unicellular. So prokaryotic is nothing but it does not have any true nucleus and a membrane-bound organelles. Whereas eukaryotic will be having a true nucleus and a membrane-bound organelles. And unicellular is a single cell, so and it is having a proper cellular structure. So while focus on the bacteria, so it is a prokaryotic and unicellular. So example is a E. coli. Archaea is a prokaryotic and it is an extremophiles. While focus on the fungi, it is a eukaryotic which includes the molds and yeast. Protozoa is a eukaryotic and it is a unicellular. Example amoeba. So algae is a eukaryotic, so which includes the photosynthetic reactions. So virus is a acellular, so it will require host to reproduce or replicate inside the living cells. And this is the nomenclature. So nomenclature means how we are, it is a formal system of giving names to the species by giving each a name composed of the two parts. So both of which will use a Latin grammatical forms, although they can be based on the words from other languages. So while focusing on the prokaryotes, so it is a group of organisms which will lack a true nucleus, and eukaryotes means it is having a true nucleus. And the bacteriological code, so it is following the International Code of Nomenclature of Bacteria, so which is nothing but the bacteriological codes. So in this slide, the classification of microorganisms can be explained like this a flow chart. So they can be classified based on it is a acellular or acellular. So acellular means it includes a virus. So example HIV virus. So acellular does not have a proper cell structure, so it does not carry out any metabolic activities and it requires a host to replicate. So whereas a cellular structure is having a formal cellular structure, so it does not require any host for replication. And the cellular can be categorized into two types, prokaryotes and the eukaryotes. So prokaryote means it is having a true nucleus. Sorry, it is a lack of a true nucleus, and eukaryotes means it is having a true nucleus. So prokaryotic example bacteria, so that is a E. coli bacteria. So eukaryotes can be classified into the autotrophs or heterotrophs. Autotrophs will prepare its own food, whereas heterotrophs it depends on the dead and decayed organic materials and it depends on the living things. So dead and decay means example fungi microorganism, example candida, so which will depends on the dead and the decayed materials. So mm, based on the living dependencies, example parasites, so example protozoa and helminth. So protozoa is a example. Entamoeba belongs to the protozoa group, whereas a tapeworm will include under the helminth. And these are the classification of the microorganisms. So there are especially the five major groups of the microorganisms, that is bacteria, algae, fungi, protozoa, and viruses. So prokaryotic means there is no internal membrane bound structure, so no true nucleus. So eukaryote means a true nucleus will be there. So the first one is a bacteria. So bacteria is a prokaryotic unicellular and the size is 1 by 1000, the volume of the typical eukaryotic cell. And this bacteria will include two groups, archaeobacteria and the eubacteria. So these are the familiar shapes of the bacteria. That is a bacillus bacteria is a rod shaped, coccus is a spherical shape, and the spirillum is a spiral shape, vibrio is a curved rod shape, and they can be either motile or immotile, and their mode of nutrition will include the photosynthetic autotrophs, chemosynthetic autotrophs, and heterotrophs. So based on these, it will acquire the nutrition, and they can live in the extreme temperature of minus 20 degrees Celsius to 110 degrees Celsius. Second one is algae. So algae is a eukaryotic and it is a unicellular or multicellular. The size is some of the microscopic or will be the macroscopic, and this also can be a motile or non-motile. That is either it moves or it will be in the fixed place. The next one is a photosynthetic autotrophs. So fungi is a eukaryotic unicellular or multicellular and it is a non-motile, and it is responsible for diseases like aspergillus, dermatophyte, and candida. So these are the examples of non-pathogenic fungi. So protozoa is the first animal, so it will include a eukaryotic unicellular, and this also a motellar immortals, and it does not prepare its own food. So examples are the malaria. So this will be caused due to the protozoas. Viruses. So the study of the viruses, virology. So it is a acellular. The basic structure of virus is a piece of nucleic acid, so which will include either RNA or DNA, so which is enclosed by a protein coat, and it possesses a no nucleus, organelles, or cell membrane or cytoplasm. And this virus is a acellular, so it depends mainly on the host cells, especially for the reproduction. So there are six branches of the microbiology. So virology, bacteriology, mycology, phycology, parasitology, and the immunology. So the study of the virus and the virus-related diseases is called a virology. So bacteriology means the study of bacteria, so including the structures, physiology, and the pathogenicity. Mycology means the study of the fungi such as the yeast and molds. Phycology means the study of algae. Parasitology means the study of the parasites. Immunology means the study of the immune system and immune response to the pathogens. So, while focusing on the nomenclature of microorganisms, so the nomenclature is nothing but it is a procedure we need to follow for giving the names to the microorganisms. So each microorganisms will be having a two part, that is a Latin name. So first part will be the genus and the second part will be the species. For example, Escherichia coli. So Escherichia belongs to the genus and the coli belongs to the species. So there are various rules we need to follow for providing the nomenclature of microorganism. The first one is it will include two parts binomial, that is a genus plus species, and it will be italicized or underlined form, and capitalization. So genus will be provided in the capital name and the species will be start from the lower case. So abbreviation can also use. For example, after first mention, this Escherichia coli can be represented as E. coli. Then strain designation, so added after a species name. That is what strains we are using for that particular microorganism, so that we can represent after this species name. Then authority citation. So the name of the scientist who first described it, we can give the name also based on this authorization. And these are the various examples of the microorganisms and nomenclature. Um, For example, Candida albicans. So genus will be the Candida and albicans will be the species. So like that, we can give the nomenclature for the microorganisms. So these are all the various governing bodies related with the nomenclature. For providing names for the bacteria and the algae, we need to adopt this committee, International Committee on Systematics of Prokaryotes, and for virus, International Committee on Taxonomy of Viruses, for fungi and algae, ICNEFP, and protozoa and helminths, we need to follow ICZN. So these are the procedure we need to follow for providing the nomenclature for the microorganisms. Thank you.